What's going on, guys? Joel with Blue Liner here, and today I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience in fly fishing, see if I can't help you guys out along in your journey as well. I wanted to start off a series just kind of helping you guys, along your journey in fly fishing, seeing if maybe I could get you some pointers and tips that'll help you out, help you catch some more fish. I've been fly fishing ever since I was 11. I've actually been tying flies since I was 8 years old. And I just wanted to go over a couple things in this video to kickstart our series of getting better at fly fishing. In this series, I'm going to be going over things like presentation, fly fishing terminology. It sounds kind of weird, but honestly, it could be very helpful for a beginner who may not know what on earth we're talking about when we mention dry flies or wet flies, whatever it may be. Going to be doing videos on tackle, equipment, what kind of fly rod you should use per application, things like that, and even basics fly selection from what flies work pretty well universally, or even the life cycle of certain types of aquatic insects that trout like to key in on. So please make sure to go through all these videos if you're new. If you're not, maybe you need to brush up on something awesome. And today we're going to talk about 5 things that would help you guys out that I wish I knew when I was getting started. First thing I want to talk about is mindset. Having a good mindset, not getting discouraged when you start, because it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of things that can go into fly fishing, especially if you've never fished before and you don't have a general understanding of how fish act, fish behavior, whether that's for trout, bass, panfish, saltwater species, whatever it may be. It can get overwhelming, and the first thing I would say to do is not get discouraged. Take bites, one bite at a time, learning the art of fly fishing, and I promise you, you can enjoy it for the rest of your life if you do it right. Second thing I wanted to talk about is the bare necessities. What would bare necessities be getting started in fly fishing? For trout specifically, I think all you'd really need is to have 1, a fly rod, 2, a reel, 3, a fly line, 4, having a fly box, 5, you'd want a good leader, and 6, tippet, of course. 7 being flies. You also need indicators, split shot, and a net. That is what I think are the bare necessities to get started. You can get this all very budget friendly and do very well fly fishing action. Like a lot of other people out there, I started off with a Martin fly rod and fly reel and taught myself by catching panfish in my pond in the backyard. Also that's a great way to start learning is by catching panfish. They are very aggressive fish and are very forgiving as far as making mistakes, and it can definitely help you get the feel of using a fly rod, playing a fish, helping you, setting you up for when you start to catch other species such as trout. And that brings us to our third point, that being learning how to cast a fly rod and how to handle a fly rod. I wish starting out I knew, I wish someone would have told me that you don't have to bring every fish you catch to the reel when you're playing them. What I would suggest doing is whenever you hook a fish, if it's big enough that takes all the slack line out of your hand to the reel, then you'd play the reel. Otherwise, I would suggest just keep stripping them in. I've seen way too many beginners losing a fish because they didn't know if they should keep stripping line in or if they should play them on the reel. And often I'd see them lose the fish. So that's something I wish I would have known starting out. And this brings us to our fourth point, being, just practice. Practicing is very important. In circling back to what I said about starting out in a little pond with some bluegill or crappie, maybe some small bass, they can be very forgiving fish. And when you're able to get opportunity after opportunity of fish biting, whatever fly you're using, you really can get the feel of how to play a fish correctly. And also, practicing how to cast. I'm not going to go into how to cast today. I'm not a certified instructor in casting, but I will definitely be giving you guys some pointers out along the way down the line. Going into our fifth point, we're going to be talking about just presentation. Um, Presentation is the most important thing, especially for fishing for trout. That I'd say, getting nailed down. Even if you can't cast more than 30 feet, if you got good presentation, you're going to catch a lot of fish. And good presentation boils down to 4 to 5 factors. That being a drag-free drift, getting down deep enough, whether that's split shot or changing the depth on your indicator. The speed of the water will determine how deep you're fishing, and of course the weight and tippet size. But if you don't get a good presentation, fish will oftentimes refuse your fly, and then that will lead you to being discouraged, and you may not want to pick the sport up again. So learning to get a drag-free drift, which I will discuss in my next video actually, will help you out a whole lot. If any of the topics I went over sounds confusing at all to you, maybe you didn't understand some of the terminology I use, I actually got a video coming out very shortly about basic fly fishing terminology that I wish I would have known when I started fly fishing. It gets really confusing when people start talking about 0x, 5x tippet, what's an indicator, things like that. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please check out this video above here, and we'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you stick around for the next one. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys.